So working on an independent production just by itself can be a hard thing to do. But when you're working on a production that is you're doing everything, it can make it even harder. So you sometimes don't know where do you start, because normally in a production you're going to have different departments, from your art department, costuming, scripting, who are going to take care of their own particular areas. But when it's just you on a budget, you kind of have to do everything at once, and sometimes it can be overwhelming. And when that happens, the best thing you can do is just pick an area and go for it. So I started with costuming, and I needed two different costumes. I needed one that would be a spacesuit for spacewalking, and then I needed another costume that would be kind of his uniform, his day-to-day type of outfit that he would wear throughout the movie. And the best place I could find any of this was at Amazon. And the best thing is that it cost me total about $100. So stick around, I'll show you exactly how I did it, and at the very end I will show you some camera tests so we can see how it might possibly look on film. Alright guys, here we go. Okay, they are saying that it came in. And there it is. Alright, so this is the jumpsuit. I thought these patches were just iron-ons, but it looks like these are actual patches. These are like real patches that are on. Okay, alright. It actually is not that bad. We're gonna have to dirty it up a little bit. Alright, there will be quite a few modifications made to it, but it just has to look good on camera. That's it. It just has to look good on camera. So, alright, so that part. Okay, so I think I'm going to want to laugh because I have a gut feeling this is going to look kind of ridiculous at first, but kind of like with the costume, we're going to be dirtying this up. Oh, yeah. I'm laughing because it's ridiculous, but it's also kind of exciting. So this helmet is going to have to go through quite a few changes. I mean, this is obviously a toy. You know, this is obviously just made as like a gag type thing. But you know what? We repaint this. Oh, is this? Oh, this flag on the back is actually kind of a cloth Velcro thing. This can be reused. But this, this whole thing is going to have to be painted, aged. Oh, this is just so stupid. So the plan for this is remove some of these decals. This is all going to have to be scuffed up scratched up, and it's going to have to be repainted to more of an orange, but we're going to have to really distress this, age it, and actually make it look like it has been well used. We'll probably add in maybe some hoses from the back that will tie into a chest plate that will go onto the front of the costume here. All right, so let's get going.
Okay, so the first thing that I had to do was just really take some tea and make a wash out of it, just dipping it in really, really hot water and taking the costume and soaking it in, dipping it in. And what will happen is that tea, and then later on I put coffee in there, what that's going to do is slightly discolor the cloth so that it will look a little more worn. Now, while that's soaking, I'm going to take the helmet, I'm going to take off what I can as far as stickers go, and then sand it down with about 120 grit sandpaper. And then once that is done, then I'm going to go with a finer sandpaper, about an 800 grit, because what I want to do is prepare the surface for painting. And if there's some deeper scratches in there, it's actually going to make it look better because I'm trying to make this thing look worn. Again, it's not supposed to be a modern helmet, but within the realm of modern. So the primer that I'm using here is an automotive primer that you can get at any automotive store. And yes, I am in my pajamas doing this.
Okay, so I'm going to let this primer coat sit. Obviously, there's still more that I have to do to get a little more coverage. But yeah, let this sit and I'll lay on another coat. Okay, so I ran this on a delicate cycle. I did not wash it because I wanted to keep the tea and coffee stains on there. And I don't know, you probably can't see it too well in this particular shot, but I can actually tell that there is some discoloration on the whites. I don't know if you can tell a difference between the white of the dryer and the white here, but the orange is actually faded or dulled at least a little bit, which is exactly what I want. So we have a little discoloration up in here. Okay. All right. Okay, so this is just the start of it. There's still a lot more to do as far as aging this. All right, so I have a plastic blade and a sanding disc. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through some of the pocket areas, and I'm not going to go rough on it, but I am just going to kind of go over and score some of these areas just to bring out some of the texture a little bit, kind of wear it down, because that should read as like distress on camera, which is what I'm going for. And like common areas where like knees would be, just to add a little difference in texture. And it adds just a little bit of discoloration in there as well. So I'm just going to go through the entirety of the costume and just do this.
Okay, so while I am rewashing and re-drying the costume to make it look more worn, I'm going to take this antiqued orange paint because I want it to look a little more industrial, like heavy equipment. And I'm going to lightly spray the entire helmet with this. There's going to be a base coat first, so I'm not looking for uniformity at this point. I'm just putting a base coat on to start getting color onto the actual helmet on a very rudimentary painting setup in my garage on top of a trash can. And so we're just going to let this sit and dry. Okay, so I eventually put on 2 more coats. You didn't see it, but I put on 2 more coats. And now what I'm doing is I'm going through all the highlight areas with a silver Sharpie. And what this will do is it's going to start making it look like some of the paint has chipped away, exposing the metal underneath, making this very lightweight plastic helmet look a little more metallic. So I'm just going through anywhere there's an edge and just tracing that edge with this silver. Now what I'm doing is I'm taking some black paint that's been heavily watered down, and I'm just going to coat the entire helmet with this paint. This is going to add an antiquing to it, an aging type of look to it. And so the black will just get into the pores and into the ridges, and then you just wipe it off. As you wipe it off, it leaves this residue behind that makes it look old and makes it look worn, and that's exactly what I want. Now here, I'm just letting it drip a little bit, and instead of wiping it away, I'm going to dab it, because the dabbing will give a different texture than the wiping will. And here we go. Here's what the thing looks like. Comped in. This is just a rough composition just to get an idea of what the costume will look like. Obviously, there's more that I need to add on to it, but this is the base. And here's the helmet. Again, color corrected, put in with the background, just to kind of give us an idea of how the thing will read on film.
Alright guys, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to join me on this little video. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or ideas, go ahead and put them down in the comment section below, and I will just see you all next time. Take care. Bye-bye.